If you're still duplicating objects by hand in Blender, this video might save you hours. I've been able to model these assets in minutes thanks to the Array Modifier. Simply explain, the Array Modifier is a procedural, non-destructive way to duplicate an object and turn it into a controllable system for spacing, rotation, and scale. Basically, you can model assets or scenes with only one object. Now this works really well because the Array Modifier doesn't create separate copies of your object. If it did that, it would take too much computation power and lag your viewport. Instead, it creates instances of your main object. In other words, a linked reference to the object and not a real copy, because in a big scene that can make a big difference on how Blender performs. Let's begin with the main features, the 4 ways you shape your arrays. There's the line, circle, curve, and transform methods. Starting with line. The line array duplicates an object in a straight line by offsetting each copy from the previous one. You control how many copies there are and how far apart they are, usually along the X, Y, or Z axis. A good example of a line array could be stairs. Just create the first step, give it an array modifier, and you can start offsetting its transform values along the X and Z axes to create the final step. Now when it comes to offsetting, you can do it along the transform, rotation, and scale values on all 3 axes. Keep in mind that everything is based off the original object's origin point, so if you scale or rotate on an axis, it'll get more amplified as it gets further from that origin point. There are also 3 kinds of offset methods. 1. The relative offset, which moves each copy based on the object's own size. A value of 1 means the next copy is placed exactly 1 object length away. You use it when you want copies to stay evenly spaced, even if the object changes size. 2. There's the constant offset. It moves each copy by a fixed distance measured in units, in my case in meters. Use it when you want precise real-world measurements. Number 3, there's the endpoint offset, which uses the start and end points of the array to determine spacing. Instead of moving each copy by a set amount, Blender evenly distributes the copies between 2 points. Use it when you want the first and last element to stay locked in place and the copies to fill the space between them. So to quickly summarize, relative creates a distance based on the object's size, constant uses real-world units of measure to create the distance, and the endpoint offset uses the distance between the array's start and endpoints. Moving on to the circle offset. The circle shape array distributes copies evenly around a circle instead of a straight line. You control the radius and number of copies, and Blender rotates each instance so they form a perfect loop. Going through its features, you have the count method, which determines the driving factor of how many copies will be produced, or distance, where an inputted angle value will decide the amount of copies. Central axis chooses which axis does the circle rotate around. The circle segment allows you to choose between the full circle or if you want the copies to be limited to a specific angle value. The radius decides the size of that overall circle array shape, so how close or far you want the copies to be. Align rotation dictates how the copies rotate on their own axis around the overall circle shape. You can play with the axes here to choose the effect you want. The circle array shape allowed me to quickly create the swell structure, for example. Moving on to the curve array shape. Moving on to the curve array shape, you get to set the array copies to follow the path of a curve. So for this to work, you need to add in a curve object to your scene, and in your array modifier, use the eyedropper tool to select the curve. And what's really cool about this feature is that you can go into edit mode and modify the shape of your curve and see your array follow it in real time. As for the align rotation feature, it works exactly the same as the circle array shape. Finally, we got the transform array shape. The transform shape uses a custom transform, position, rotation, and scale to place each copy. Instead of a straight line, circle, or curve, you decide exactly how each copy is offset using the transform of an object or the modifier itself. If you choose inputs, you can play with the translation, rotation, and scale values on each axis to modify your array shape. If you choose object, you're using that object's transform values to affect the shape of your array. Typically, most people use an empty object to do so. A good example of this feature would be to create spiral shapes. Next up is the randomize option. You can randomize each transform channel on their own axes, and the scale channel can either be uniform or have each axis randomized individually. The flip option mirrors every other copy along a chosen axis. You can also exclude the first and last copy of the array chain. And that pretty much sums it up for the array modifier. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll get to them as fast as I can. Bye bye.